Hey guys, welcome to the Whimsical Workshop. I'm about to start another mystery project that I have purchased from a company in England called Caterpillar, and it is not quilting, but I thought you might want to follow along as I do it. It is cross stitch. So let's get started. Alright, so if you're anything like me, I am a magpie of crafts. I jump around, and this year I have taken a deep dive into all the things you can do with embroidery floss, and I've been working on this since February, and I will be sending out videos here soon about what I actually have done for the last 6 months with embroidery floss. But with that, my love of cross stitch, which started way back when I was a teenager, has resurfaced. I literally put down cross stitch in 1999 when I picked up and started my first quilt, and I never went back to it. So it's been a very, very long time for me. But I am an orophilosopher, which means I'm an ambassador for Orophil floss, threads, and products, and they have a gorgeous embroidery floss product that I wanted to design with and use, and that kind of brought me back around to cross stitch. But seeing how I've been out of it for quite some time, I thought I would follow along with some other designers who are doing cross stitch and see what they're doing as I'm working on my own designs that you guys will hopefully see next year. And there is a company, and they're called Caterpillar Cross Stitch. They're based in England. I found them online just searching around, and everything on their site was bright and fun and whimsical. It was right up my alley. And they do sew-alongs. So if you are a quilter, which most of my viewers are, sew-alongs are just like mystery quilts. So I decided to follow along for the Christmas one. And so you sign up. It's a little bit different than quilting mystery quilts because you sign up, you're always going to be working on one piece of canvas. So they send you your canvas. You're only going to use one set of threads. They send you that right away. And then they send you the chart with all the symbols, because they use symbols in cross stitch. But they don't really send you, let me pull it out of here so we can see it better, an image of what your project is. It's a mystery. And they've done several of these. All of their past ones are available for purchase on their website. But this is what the cover looks like until everything is revealed. It's all blurry and you don't know. You just know it is a portrait piece, and it looks like it's an Advent kind of style. I mean, you can very carefully make out, oh, there's a Santa and a stocking. But it's the idea that it's a mystery. It is a 6-week sew-along because they're little pieces. The finished size, I ended up going on 16 count because on cross stitch, the canvas you use, there's 11 count, 14 count, 16 count, 18 count, 28, all the way up to like 40 count linen. And that is how many squares per inch. So I'm using a 16 count, or how many, dots per inch. Holes. Dots, holes, you know. There's 16 dots per inch. I believe that is correct. I'm not totally up on all my terminology. So as I'm learning, you guys are going to learn with me. So the 16 count one, this will be an 8.5 by 13 inch piece approximately. They're giving it to me in centimeters because, again, it's a UK company. My full kit came with my really pretty Aida cloth in navy, because we're going to use that as a background. Came with my needle to sew. If you're a cross stitcher, you're going one needle. You probably have a stash. I have tons of needles. And then I get all of my threads. The reason they're called the Caterpillar cross stitch is this looks like a caterpillar, and it's their design on how they give you all your flosses. There's a little hole here, so your ones that are in use, because these are 6-strand flosses, you're going to pull 2 strands out at a time. Then you have 4 strands left. You can loop them through these little holes. You'll see it as we go. And then they give you their numbering chart. So there are 14 colors in the project. And then they give you basic cross stitch instructions, which you've never done it. They're going to show you how to do it. Very easy. You guys can all do this. And then they have all the instructions on how to get ready for your sew along, like how to prepare your canvas, which I'm going to go over here in just a minute how I do it. They ask you to compare your thread colors to the chart here. And then the chart, each of these has a symbol. You can even draw the symbol on the card. So when you see that symbol on the chart, you'll know that's the color that you need. They do tell you which DMC color it is, which is lovely, because if I want to put this in with my other DMC colors at the end, if I have leftovers, I know what number it is, and then they say what number it is for their project. So they're giving you a lot of this information here, so you don't want to, just like any mystery project, you want to keep all your stuff you get at the beginning. And then what will happen is starting on September 12th, I will get a PDF in my email with the first things to stitch, and then I believe it's I think it's 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. I haven't looked at the dates quite, because it's like when it comes, but they'll send me the patterns, and then at the end of the stitch along, hopefully I will have this done. The idea is you're just doing a little bit of stitching at a time. Along with the kit, when you order the kit, which cost me, it's 35 pounds for UK, which converts right now to $42 here. That is for the whole kit. And again, you can go in and buy the past ones. They're doing a really, really cute Halloween one right now, which I would have loved to have jumped on, but my schedule wasn't going to work. But I wanted to show you that. The other thing is you get to pick your Ada cloth size. There were several sizes. You can pick which size if you really want it bigger, like the 14 count is going to be 9.5 by 14. You know, you can certainly go bigger, or what I have learned is if you like really tiny cross stitch, if you're one of those crazy people, you could do the 14 count. You could move up to a 28 count linen, and it'd be smaller, or I think it's about the same size, but it would be, the details would be smaller. Or you can go from the 16 count, you can go to 32 count linen, so you can always double your number. Again, learning as I go here. All right, so we've got all of that. We've got all our threads. Now I just want to show you how the other thing is every one of their sew-alongs, they do the most adorable needle minders. That's what this is. And what a needle minder is a little magnet. Let me grab, hang on a second. All right, so I'm currently also starting a needlepoint project. This is a needle minder. It is a magnet with another magnet on the back, and you put it between your cloth, and you can see it's holding my needles. So every time you finish a needle, you can drop it on the front, or if you happen to be finishing on the back, you can drop it on the back. I have just started using these, and I am not losing my needles the way I used to, which is amazing. This one I bought at a local shop. It says make it happen and shock everyone. But there's tons of needle minders out there. There's also like the Sew Tight magnets that quilters may have. I'm using one of the Lib Elliott skull magnets as a needle minder on my cross stitch. So you may already have these and you can use them. But with these little kits, they come out with a really cute one that goes with it each time. That is an additional $11 charge. I haven't even opened to look at this yet, but it comes in this really cute little envelope, so if you want to save it in there. But I just thought this guy was absolutely adorable. And I think I have one that's coming that's a seahorse. Because, as spoiler alert, I am doing a cross-stitch subscription box after the current quilting one for you guys to see what other craft boxes look like. I would also love to get into some other craft boxes, so if you have one that you like or you want to see what's in it and you don't want to buy it, let me know and I may review it here on our channel. So anyway, I got the little needle minder guy because I thought, what the heck, I'll have a really cute one while I'm doing my Christmas one. So every time I start a project, I want to get it ready so that when I get my pattern, I'm ready to roll. Just like quilting, you may have stuff you prep. I've showed you in my other mystery quilt blocks how I get my box ready and I label my bags and get everything ready. This is kind of the same idea. So any cross stitch pattern, when you first get your Ada cloth, you're going to want to press out all of these wrinkles. Old days, they would tell you to masking tape the edges, which then the tape falls off and it also leaves goo on here. Most of us are sewers, so what I do is I will take this over to my sewing machine and I will use an overlock stitch on the edges all the way around. That will keep it from fraying for me. And so I will be pressed and I will have my edges done. Then if you're going to work with a hoop, you'd get it in your hoop and have it ready for the hoop. I'm currently right now doing sewing in my hand without a hoop, so I may or may not do this one with a hoop. It's little enough I might. So I'm going to get that ready. I'll show it to you when I'm done with that at the end, because I have to go over there and do it. But the other thing is how I'm going to do my threads. Now all of these threads are beautifully wound on the card and I can just leave them on the cards. And I'm kind of torn because I also like to prep my threads so they're ready to go. They're cut to length and I just have to pull them out as I go and I don't have to unravel it, pull out what I need and tie it to the end. Totally works. But I wanted to show you how I organize my flosses. Let me grab one of these to show you. You're fine. So I got these cute little boxes at Michael's. I think they were $5. I put DMC number 0 to 499. And then in here are all of my embroidery flosses in numerical order. And they're in these little bags. Okay. And I'm going to set one up. These are the floss away bags, but in my little bag, I've cut a piece of chipboard to make it rigid. Chipboard or cardboard. So it's rigid, so it stands up in my box. And then in each of these packages is my my floss drop. I just cut these on my Cricut and I put a little sticker on it. And I'm going to show you how I put my threads onto a floss drop and get my bag ready. Then when I put these away at the end of the project, they'll already have the DMC number on them. They'll all be done. I can just start filing them away and I don't have to pull them off the cards at the end. So you're either going to pull them off the cards at the end or at the beginning. I'm going to do it at the beginning. Lost the lid. So what I have to show you how to do this, let's move our adorable little guy out of the way and I'll move this out of the way for the moment. We have our threads. We have a floss pack. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy them at Michael's. They are meant to hold your loose skein of floss in there. But what I did is I cut a piece of cardstock that measures 4.5, what is that? Oh, 3.5 by 4.5. It's just a piece of stiff cardboard, very thin cardboard, and I slide it in my floss bag. Then these, you can buy floss drops. You can buy them anywhere. They're going to hang, the thread is going to hang off of the floss drop. I have some extra holes. I'll explain that. But then I have my favorite stickers, circle labels, that I get at the stationery store, Staples, and I put it on the bag and I put one on the floss drop. And then I use, I don't have any over here, do I? Right, there we go. Then I use a Frixion pen, which erases, which is nice, so that if I want to reuse it, I can. I also can just put a new sticker on here, and I will write the DMC number on the bag and on the floss drop. I use this, I know you can just write it here on your bag, but then once you write it on your bag has got the number and you got to scribble it out to put a new number, or to reuse it is a little messier. With this guy, he'll just peel off. I'll put a new sticker on if a different floss goes in the bag. So we have the bag with the cardboard, the sticker, we have the floss drop with the sticker. And then what we do is I'm going to take my floss. I also don't like it wound because it kinks it like this, and I don't want it kinked. It makes it a little harder to sew. And I'm going to unwind it. And I use one strand of thread and double it for how I start my cross stitch, which I'll show you in a later video. So when I start, I use a very long piece. And so, because I'm going to end up doubling it over. So right about there is good. No idea how long that is. Long. So I'm cutting like a 42-inch piece. And then I'm just going to unwind. This is my first kit from them, so hopefully I'm not getting myself in trouble here. Just gonna unwind it. This is a very small amount. I guess there's not a lot of black in this because it's on such a dark background. All right, so there's my floss. Doubling it over. And in this case, I only get 2 cuts out of it, which is kind of funny. But, you know, if I run out of black, I always have more. Everybody has black. All right, so then we cut the threads. Now they are to the length that I desire. I don't have to cut a piece off each time. And then we're just going to do a slip knot onto our floss drop. And then when I'm ready, and I keep it very loose, the knot is very loose, but when I'm ready, I can just take a needle and take one strand, one little strand, this little guy. I could pull it and it'll come out of the slip knot. I don't have to undo the slip knot. Stay tuned for the next video to see all of that. I don't want to give away all my secrets in one. Then this circle, this hole is if I want to put them all on a ring. And this hole is when if I wanted to have extras, or I like pull one off, I finish a section and I have a really long piece left, I can slip knot it here, and next time I have it, it just gives me a place to park an extra thread if I don't want to put it back with what I know is a full skein. So we've got that. We know this is DMC, so I use all kinds of threads, so I'm going to put DMC 310, and I'm going to put that on the bag. Only so if you get them separated, you know where they go. I just wrap this puppy up and I put it in the bag. Now a lot of people who use floss drops will just hang them like this, but I find it gets kind of entangled and ratty. And also I don't know if I want to take it on a trip or something. If they're in a bag, it's nice, it's safe, it's not going anywhere, and it's not going to get tangled. So that's number 1. So I will do that for all 15 colors and have everything in their bags. So I'll have that done, and I'll have my canvas ready before we do we get our first clue. So there's a little work up front. I choose to do this, but it will be all ready to go on September 12th, and I will periodically shoot a video and show you my progress and how I do this. So if you're interested at all in starting cross stitch, you'll understand how to do it after this. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about expanding our horizons and trying new crafts in our videos? Are you excited to do this? If you want to join along, then you can certainly sign up for this. It's again, it is coming from the UK, so they need to ship you your kit. So I would order earlier rather than later. It was Caterpillar cross stitch. I will leave a link in the comments below. And again, the kit was $42 currently, based on the exchange rate from UK to US dollars. So with all that, make sure you like and subscribe, leave any comments below on what you think about this new project venture, and I will see you next time.